Hi guys, today we're going to be working on this watercolor undersea bubbles design, and I've been seeing this watercolor technique all over on Instagram, and so I decided to give it a try. And while overall Nail Art April has been kind of slow, and I know this video is late, I'm really pleased that I at least got to try out one new technique, and I really like the effect. Definitely think I'll be trying it again in some different colors. So if you'd like to see how I did this, just stay tuned. I was having a bit of trouble deciding on a manicure, so while I was kind of sitting around thinking about it, I decided to soak off my patches and trim my nails like I'd been talking about. You can see no more patches on the thumbs. Those are completely grown out. And in fact, the only patch that's left is this small break on my pinky. So this isn't quite as short as I cut them at the beginning of the year, but it's still pretty short for me. So for today's look, for my base color, I'm going to be using Zoya Rocky. And then I'm going to be sponging with that and Wednesday and Yummy. So you can see those are all kind of in the same color range. And once I finish the gradient, then I'll be working on the bubbles. I think I've shown the difference between taping and not taping before, but maybe not directly side by side. So today I decided to only tape one of my hands, partly to show you guys, partly out of laziness. And you can see there is just your comparison. So it just really depends on how much cleaning up you want to do. Once the gradient is dry, I'm going to start on my bubbles, and I'm using just a white acrylic paint that's been thinned with water. You can use a brush, you can use a dotting tool, you can use really pretty much whatever you want to start making some dots on your nail. And I'm going to be working a couple nails at a time, and with a couple different sizes of the drops. And you want to give them a few seconds to dry. How many exactly, I would say, is going to depend on how watered down your acrylic paint is, as well as what size dots you're doing. But basically, once they've had a few seconds to dry, you want to use something to kind of soak up the excess water. And I've seen examples with a paintbrush, I've seen examples with a Q-tip, and I also tried myself with just kind of the corner of a paper towel. And I actually decided that the dry paintbrush worked best. So I've got my paintbrush here, and to dry it off I've got just a paper towel off to the side, and I'm just going to dip that into the dot and let it absorb the excess water. If you need to dip again, just go ahead and do that, and you'll see it kind of pull up that excess polish and start to create the bubble. If you want your bubbles to be more transparent, just work a little faster. Don't give the polish as long to dry, and you'll be able to suck up more of the water. You could also try thinning it even more with water, although I haven't experimented with that as much. This is the first time I've done this. And the last step, which is optional, is I'm just going to add a little highlight to the corner of each bubble, just like a little light reflection, and that's up to you, optional if you want to include it. Once the acrylic is dry so that it doesn't smear, you can go ahead and finish with a top coat. As usual, I'm using Seche Vite, and I'm already on my middle nail because my camera was not recording when I thought it was. But you do want to make sure that you top coat when you're using acrylic paint, because otherwise it will just wash off when you wash your hands, since it is a water-soluble paint. So here's the finished manicure, and while I went kind of the obvious route of making them into literal bubbles, I think this technique has a ton of possibilities, a ton of different color combinations, and I definitely think I'll be doing it again. So let me know what you think, what colors you might want to experiment with. I hope you guys all enjoyed, and as always, thanks for watching.